Welcome to Rugby 100 Club. Hey, I'm Matt Courtwright, and we're with TUX, aka Brad Tucker, with the Chicago Hounds. We're gonna ask some good questions and get some great answers. It's always a pleasure, Brad. Thanks for showing up, bro. Thanks for giving me your time, especially on a Sunday of all days.
No, absolutely, mate. Appreciate you wanting to have a yarn and look forward to talking some smack.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. So, haven't seen you in a minute. Haven't seen you since Easter. You got married in the meanwhile, proposed and married. And then of course visited your brother who got married as well. You've been through a couple coaches. You now got Chris Latham at the helm. How you feeling about that?
Nah, excited, mate. As I just touched on, I grew up watching Latho play for the Wallabies. Obviously, had an epic career. He played for the Wallabies when they used to get the better of the All Blacks a bit too. So, definitely a rugby player that I've always had respect for, and am really excited to work with him.
Awesome. No, it's going to be fun to watch. I got my hound shirt on. I'm rooting for you for sure.
Love
Almost
it.
got to the championship last year, which I was rooting for you. So I was frustrated and disappointed that you didn't make it, but you at least you lost to a good team. That's all. That's the sincerity.
Yeah, mate. Look, New England, you just can't fault. You couldn't fault them the last couple of seasons. Organizations doing a great job. Players, coaching staff. I think if a team's coming in and competing as well as they have since day one when they entered MLR, that they're doing stuff right. So, better to fall at that hurdle to them and not get to go to the big dance. But full credit to the Free Jacks last season.
Touche, touche. Well, I will see you in New Orleans when y'all come down there. We're doing a package to get Chicago Hounds to travel down there to come support y'all in the Gold Stadium, if you will. I mean, who doesn't want to go to New Orleans? As far as I'm concerned, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just excited we're going a little bit earlier in the year this year. She gets a bit toasty down there later in the season.
Yeah. It's the last weekend of March. Y'all are coming down. It'll be perfect time, right before it starts smelling like piss. Let's be honest.
Hey, I didn't want to say it.
No. I want to say pretty much May and June it starts smelling some kind of way, and I never
Yeah.
experienced it until I want to say it was our second trip that the Queen and I went, and it was an experience within itself. I mean, it was a great time, of course, but you get a chance to actually understand New Orleans, and of course us, we traveled to a tattoo parlor that wasn't in the best area of town. And that was a great experience in itself. And that's a story over beers another time.
I look forward to hearing that.
Oh yeah, are we there yet? It comes up a lot. Um, well, I want to ask you, what inspired you to pursue a career in rugby, and how'd you get into it?
Yeah, for me, obviously grew up in New Zealand, rugby mad there. So my youngest memories is getting given an All Blacks jersey as a child and watching the All Blacks play every weekend. And it was in the 90s. It was different. You used to, you know, people would come around, find a big TV, set it up, move everything so everyone could fit in the house and watch the rugby together. And those are just core memories of mine. Our family childhood home. You could throw a baseball, you could kick a rugby ball to where the Crusaders trained and the
Oh
Canterbury rugby
wow.
team trained. And the house next door to ours was one of the original Crusaders and Canterbury rugby flats where all the young guys, when they moved to town, would live. Um, so I think we got a lot of exposure at a young age to guys playing the game at the highest level. And New Zealand did a great job of promoting the game and having plenty of opportunity, and it was accessible. I mean, we love it. So I started when I was 4 or 5, and never looked back. I've played a lot of other sports, but I think sort of towards the end of time in high school, started thinking like, no, I want to give this rugby thing a real nudge, and had a bit of a battle with injuries for a few years, and after that, sort of haven't really looked back.
Does any influence on your brothers playing too?
Definitely, definitely. My middle brother made his first class debut the year before me. I think that fueled, obviously, we're a very competitive family, so that fueled my fire even more to go get after it, put the head down more. And if he can do it, then I can definitely do it. And gratefully got to play with them going forwards, and we've had a fun time over the last sort of 10 years just playing footy. So it's good crack.
So what's the order with Will, James, and you?
Yeah, so I'm the oldest. I'm a 92. James a 94. Will's a 98. So yeah, Will's the baby. We weren't allowed to touch Will growing up. And no one touched Will. James and I used to get hidings. Will never got hiding at all. Yeah, nice, friendly hiding for being bad. Smack on the ass or something. But we always say to mum and dad, Will didn't get anything, and obviously they fed him more food because how do you end up 4 inches taller than me?
That's what I was thinking as you're telling me that. I'm like, I remember meeting. I only met Will once, and it was in that pub in Hoboken that
Yep.
Seattle went to New York, and you're like, hey Matt, this is my brother Will, and I'm like, he must be meaning like it's a buddy of his that's really close.
Yeah. Nah. Will got all the height. Will got all the height. James and I are the same. Not that we're short, but he got a
No,
few extra inches, which must be nice.
definitely, no. Like seeing you two standing together, it's like, geez, get out of my sun, bro. Like you're standing between me and the sun, and you're taking out. I'm in the shade down here. Oh man. So, let me ask you this. Can you share a moment in your career that stands out as the most challenging and what you did to overcome it?
Most challenging.
Yeah, like maybe
Most
a bad
challenging. Yeah,
injury or something.
most challenging for me. My last year of school was really really tough time. Obviously, you have all these dreams and plans and aspirations as a young athlete. You get to your last year of school and you want to try and achieve this, that, and you want to get in the academies. You want to try and play secondary schools for New Zealand. You have all of these big goals. Second game of my last year of school, out for the season with a knee injury. Um, was very fortunate to get an opportunity to go to university because of rugby. Second game back from my injury, did the same thing again. Missed another whole year, so I missed 2 whole years in a row, 18 and 19 years old, which is a big challenge. I think I missed out a lot of. So that's an important development window as a young man and as a young athlete, and I think I sort of it was a tough time for me. Came back, you know, and was fine. Came back, played one season, first game of the next season, did the same thing again, missed another season. So it was 3 and 4 years, and I didn't really get my feet under me again until I was 20, 21 years old. And by that stage, James was knocking on the door of playing rugby professionally. So, I think a lot went past me. And, there was definitely some real dark days there for me, and like, well, I don't know if this is going to be for me. The body can't handle it, or whatnot. You have all those thoughts, right? But this came a stage where it's like, nah, let's give this a real nudge. We'll put the head down. We'll focus all the energy into this game, and yeah, I ended up made my debut at 22, and that was that. I haven't sort of looked back yet there, but definitely reflecting on my career, those sort of that 4 year period was really really challenging, and look, there was a long time in there where you probably thought it was never going to happen, right? But kept the head down and stuck true to it, and was fortunate enough to get some rewards.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you pushed yourself through it. I would have never met you. You would have
Yeah,
never
yeah.
came
Who
over
knows?
here.
I'd say I'd be a police officer in New Zealand if I hadn't kept the head down. So that's what I'd be doing otherwise.
You know what? I could completely see you being a law enforcement. Yeah, I could totally see that. that'd be actually a great follow up after the career if you end up deciding to go that route. I can see where you could
Yeah, we'll
excel
see. We'll
heavily.
see. I don't know if they want any bruised and battered former athletes coming in, trying to coming in there with sore knees already. It's also it's a tough job. Those guys have got to
Yeah.
be fit and healthy, and men and women have to be fit and healthy and ready to go. So, I mean, I'd love to. I still think about it, but we'll see.
No, that's I could like I have a couple buddies that are officers, and I can see where it would fit like an athlete like yourself. Everybody's got their job to do. Everybody's got their profession in it. Kind of like our boy Tim Metcher. He's
Yeah, Chicago
doing
Fire.
fire.
He's doing very well.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, like, no, those positions are really those are perfect for gentlemen like you that understand, like, you got your levels, you got to work as a team and work through
Yeah, I
the
think that's
options. Yeah.
talking to guys like Mechie and Brock Staller is a firefighter, Cam Paulson's a firefighter now. All those three guys obviously on the SEALs when I first joined the team. And they talk about that exactly. Like, the biggest thing is one of the big challenges is athletes is leaving that team environment, right? You've had it your whole life, and all of a sudden now you don't have it. And I think they've said about fire is just going into an environment that's still a team culture has just been an awesome sort of step out of the game and into the next phase of their lives without losing that team culture and the brotherhood that you have on a sports team.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, we're going to go to a short break and we'll be right back.
Love rugby? So does Matt. He is host of the Rugby 100 Club podcast, where Major League Rugby stars tell their stories. But it's more than a podcast, it's a passport. Rugby 100 Club builds epic fan trips to follow your team on the road. Game day tickets included. Tailgates and fan meetups? You bet. Unforgettable memories every single time. Rugby 100 Club, where fandom meets the road.
Got this thing going, man. I'm super excited, Brad.
Mate, I'm excited to see you grow.
Just to build the culture and give people an opportunity. Like, I think a lot of people hesitate to go to games away because they really just don't know what that entails. They're like, okay, well, where do I go? Where do I stay? Do I stay near the pitch? Do I stay away from the pitch?
Yeah.
How am I going to get to the pitch? Where do I sit when I get to the stadium? What's the stadium like? Because every stadium seems to be completely different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Hoboken, and then you go to Chicago, SeatGeek. I mean, talk about totally different situations. I mean, night and day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean it's outstanding here, but you're right. It's where the league's at right now. Everything is completely different, and I mean also in this country, it's so big. Every city's completely different, and a lot of people haven't spent lots of time. It's not like New Zealand when you go out of the major cities and it's just a small town. Here, you go out of your major city and you're in another major city. Like that's a lot to deal with.
It is, yeah, and I think a lot of people are just massively intimidated by it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I've already gone, put my finger in the light socket, figured out what not to do, what works out. Hey, let's go.
Yeah, it's what they need.
That's awesome. No, thank you for the support, man. I appreciate it. We're back with Brad Tucker, aka TUX, coming up with some more questions for him, getting to know Brad a little better, making sure everybody's getting the warm fuzzy with our TUX going on. I like that nickname, bro. I just gotta wear it out. So tell me, what does a typical week of training and preparation look like for you during the season?
Yeah, in season, main week starts on a Sunday for me. So whatever detail goes out, so probably lineouts, etc. for the week. Whatever new starters plays might be coming out, get them in the notebook. In season, obviously that Sunday, you need to watch your game and do some preview. So review preview. So Sunday afternoon, just watching rugby, just getting the preparation and the book ready to go. And then get to Monday. If it's a game week or if you've played on the Saturday, generally would have had Sunday off. Monday's sort of install day. So big learning day. Learn new lineouts. then go out on the field, learn the new plays, all at sort of a lower speed, focused on the detail rather than the rugby, let's say. Reviews on Monday as well. Obviously, watch all the clips from the game from the week that's gone. And then, as I said, install the new plays. Probably get a gym session in on that Monday as well. And maybe some fitness if you didn't play many minutes, or if you didn't play, you'll obviously do some fitness as well. Monday evening, same thing. Check through those notes, stretching routine, get ready for Tuesday. Tuesday is normally the biggest day of the week on most teams. You're turning up, probably line out smalls and scrums for the forwards on a Tuesday. Get a good bash in, sort of your heavy load day. You really start, by Tuesday, you've sort of forgotten about the week past. It's all focused on the week ahead, right? So now it's just more learning, previewing the team ahead, making sure we're over those plays. Forwards, we get in our heavy work. You've got a big day in the gym on Tuesday as well. That's where you get your heavy lifting. Wednesday, if you're playing again Saturday, generally Wednesday will be the off day. So you go in for treatment, do what recovery you need to do, catch up coffee with the guys, or spend time with your wife, or for me, spend time with Alicia. Thursday, another big day, more sort of the speed goes up on a Thursday, right? So not as much banging because you're getting close to the game, but speeds up. You want to do everything at game intensity. So again, we'll do a unit session, and we'll have our biggest team session of the week where we're running our plays at full speed versus defense. Another gym session in there, normally power focused. Thursday, come home, obviously recap anything you need to recap from the day, watch training again. I mean, that's an important thing, right? We're fortunate enough that our trainings are recorded, and you get home, watch that. You can learn a lot there as well. And then Friday, if it's a travel day, normally up early to the airport, and away we go wherever we're going. When we get there, we'll do a captain's run, team meal, and then the evening off. So if it's a late game, a night game, like to go to a film with the guys or something if we're playing at 7 p.m. I like to always stay up a little bit later if I'm playing a night game, sleep in a little bit, kind of, just have that body clock a little bit different so that I feel alive at night. But everyone has a different approach,
Yeah.
And then you get to game day. Obviously, for me, I like to have done all my prep during the week on game day. So once we've had captain's run and we get to that meal, put rugby away for a few hours, and that picks up whenever it's time to start activating for the game. Really start focusing in there, go over the notes, you have a walkthrough before the game, and then it's go time. Hopefully you get the treats and have a few beers after the game, and then it's either travel back or, start with travel the next day, or you go in for treatment and you start your rehab. And then again, Sunday afternoon, you're back on the horse and you started again the cycle for the next week. So that's a rough outline. If you have any questions on it, just sing out.
No, it's kind of fun because I like to ask these questions, but I typically know the answer. That's kind of like I'm comfortable with the question. But everybody has a different idea of what their routine is. Like you pointed out, it's like you staying up a little later the game before, if it's a night game. Those little details are like interesting how they're different. So it is fun to hear what Tux does, before he goes to war,
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And I'd like, for me, it's just, if I'm ticking my boxes, then I don't have anything to worry about before the game. If I haven't got the preparation right per se, then, you might be thinking about what's my role here. Well, if you're thinking about what your role is because you don't know it, then, you can't express yourself as good as possible, right?
Yeah. And I really like outside looking in. Of course, my 2 cents is really just only 2, but the fact that you study the film like you do, I think that's something that some players really need to remember. That's part of the game and being a student of the game, because I think that's where the MLR level of competition keeps getting better each season, because of players like yourself, where you're taking it seriously, it's a job, and you're dedicating your time after. I mean, I can only imagine the conditioning and then working out, and then the mental exhaustion with having to change up lineouts and set pieces in general.
Yeah, it's a lot of learning, right? It's rugby doesn't rest. If you rest, then you get left behind. It's a lot of coaches, and I sort of have the same view on it myself. As we have a great job. We get to do what we love, but it's a job that has no days off.
No.
And I think for me, especially as I've got older, it's something that I will just keep in the back of my mind, right? So just keep on it, and if there's a chance to watch games or talk about rugby, you got to take it up.
Yeah, well, and something that people don't know is, like, say your day off is Wednesday, like it typically is. A lot of guys got medical follow up on that day too, right? Like, you got
Yeah,
stuff to
half
do.
half
Like,
the team at least. Yeah,
yeah, you
half
don't get a
the team
day
at least.
off. I mean, you might be able to sleep a little, like one more hour or some jazz like that, or stay up a little later the night before,
Yeah,
but
like I'll
you
try
don't get a
and
day
have
off at
my
all.
day. I'll try have my day start at 10, and on the day off start at 10 and try to be home by 2, so you still get a good amount of family time. It is always obviously important to not just put all of your energy into rugby, but it's a balancing act, because that's also your mindset is, I've got to be rugby, rugby, rugby. But if you don't have the rest of your bucket full with other stuff, it can also get on top of you. So it is important, and it's definitely a balancing act. And if your body's playing up, it's our job to play games on the field. So you got to go and do what needs to be done, so you're ready to go next time we go out there.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it. Alicia will always remind you, hey. I'm sure she'll remind you. She has to be a strong personality to be in your web, bud.
Oh, she definitely is, but she's amazingly supportive. Like, if she's not a question asked. Like, I need to go do this, then it's like, all right, I'll see you when you get back. So it's she's very, very fair, and it's on me to make time for her and the family. So it's great. I couldn't ask for any more from her, for sure.
Nah, that's so good, man. You picked a good one, or she picked a good one, however you want to see it. So, okay, so we're going to roll into the next question. How do you handle the mental and physical demands of playing rugby at this professional level?
I think on the physical side of things, obviously I touched on the injuries and whatnot, and I guess what I learned from that was keeping the head down and enjoying training. So sometimes the physical aspect of it for me is like, I enjoy, whether it is playing touch with the guys or going to the gym, going for a run, doing off feet. I'd be lying to you if I said I always enjoyed going for a run or always enjoyed getting on the watt bike or whatever you need to do. But you can find that headspace where you're versing yourself. This is a chance to get better. And, like, can I be stronger than I was last week? Can I beat my time last week? I think for the physical side of things, for me, that sort of has always been there. I've enjoyed training and seeing sort of how far I can take my body, and how I always view the training as we're building our armor, right? So
Yeah,
you look at, like, medieval soldiers who put on all of their armor, right? So we build, or I view it as I build mine in the gym and doing my time on the field or on the bike or whatever it is that day. And the mental side of things I take very seriously. I talk to someone every week about it, and keep on top of it, because honestly, that's half the battle in professional sport or in life, as you know. It's more than half the battle. It's most of the battle. If you can get it right up here, and you've done the work off the field, then your performance is going to take care of itself. But I take it very seriously. I'm a big believer in visualization, and breath work, and I would say I meditate, like, briefly. I'm not great at that, but just finding those moments of peace when you're stretching or doing yoga, little things like that. And then for me, it's just being comfortable to talk to my mates about how I'm feeling, which is something as a young man I definitely was really very, very poor at, and have got a lot better at probably in the last 5-6 years. Being comfortable to talk about where I'm at, and just be like, someone asks you how you're going, you always say good. Especially in New Zealand, as a bloke, you always just say, yeah, I'm all right, I'm all right. But deep down inside you're not, you're fighting your demons, and we all have days like that. And I think for me, a big step particularly in my sort of professional life, is just being. My mate asked me if I'm doing all right. It's like, nah, I'm having a day, and
Yeah.
being able to talk about it, and then I can then leave that day there. So this week was a perfect example. Had a tough day on Tuesday for whatever reason, and then bang, Thursday, Friday were electric. Loved them, and but I had a talk with a couple of people after Tuesday, reset myself, refocus, and we go get after it again. So for me, the physical and the mental, yeah, you've got to take care of it, and you've got to take care of both of them. You have to look after your mental well-being and your physical well-being. It's imperative. It's imperative to rugby, but it's imperative to life.
Agreed, man. It's a life thing for sure, and it's interesting on how when we get into those quote unquote dark places, right? And how we act differently. We're not consistently the same. Sometimes it'll come out as goofy, and because you're kind of like hiding it the best you know how, and then other times it'll come off as like you snap at somebody for something that's really not as important as it is, because you're overreacting because you got like your teacup's been building and you haven't released it yet, and no, it's good to hear you talk about it, because that is like, and I think that's I wouldn't say it's just a gender thing, but us guys really have to work on it to talk about our feelings with each other, because it's not been the normal thing for so long, especially as masculine as we tend to be, especially in rugby.
Yeah. I mean, we're not good at showing. I mean, it's showing vulnerability, right? And especially in rugby and especially, I mean, in all sports, but particularly in male sports, you just like keep quiet, worry about yourself, take care of yourself, and play well when you get on the field. But I think it's definitely healthy that we're more aware of our mental health and taking care of each other more, because look, if we don't need to get into it deep, but you just look at the stats on mental health and men, suicide numbers are far higher. The numbers are very skewed. We need to do a better job of looking after each other.
Love that. All right, we're going to go to a small break. We'll be back.
Love rugby? So does Matt. He is host of the Rugby 100 Club podcast, where Major League Rugby stars tell their stories. But it's more than a podcast, it's a passport. Rugby 100 Club builds epic fan trips to follow your team on the road. Game day tickets included. Tailgates and fan meetups? You bet. Unforgettable memories every single time. Rugby 100 Club, where fandom meets the road.
Welcome back. We got Brad Tucker on the scene, crispy and clean. And so Brad and I, a fun fact, Brad and I actually started bonding more than ever when he so kindly stepped up and started getting himself and other players to youth games in Washington State and showing up. And some of the guys are like, it's funny because I remember us going through it, and some of the guys are obviously different personalities. Some are shyer than others. And it was kind of one of those like, hey, bro, listen, you don't have to go talk to everybody if you don't want to, but just stand over in the corner and just watch the game, because to those guys, those young bloods, you're a freaking superhero, man. Like, those guys look up to you. And I remember, the youth lighting up seeing you and your squad, because you were running the Suburban back then. Running around all around town like, get in, we're going to a game, guys. That was fun. Oh man. So my next question is along those lines. Like, what advice would you give a young player aspiring to reach the level of professional in rugby?
I think for me, I just look back at how sort of it was for us. We were fortunate. Dad was away a lot with travel and work and whatnot, but when he was home, he was just massive on being skillful. So for me, it's always having a rugby ball in your hand. Get as skillful as you can. There's not one coach in the world that doesn't notice a player that has a really good skill set, and it's what you and they also notice a player that can't pass one way real quick. So
Right.
for me, it's like get as skillful as you can at a young age, because you don't know what position you're going to be when you're 5 years old, and you don't know how you're going to look when you're 21. So for any parent and any kid, it's obviously one, watch the game. You've got to watch the game. Watch as much at rugby as you can tolerate. Don't watch it silly that you get sick of it, but watch a lot of rugby, and play a lot of rugby. Play touch rugby with your mates. Play rugby one-on-one versus your brother. Just get that ball in hand. Get doing it as much as you can, and really develop your ball skills. You catch and pass. Who cares if you're a big kid? Like, learn how to kick off both feet, or learn how to kick as well, because having all the skills is something that, once you get to 25, or getting older, you're expected to have those skills, and it's a hard thing to develop at an older age. So definitely for me, it would be starting point: get as skillful as you can, watch rugby, and then the rest of it will come on top of that. Obviously, you've got to, as you get older, have a good training ethic and work ethic and love the game. But for me, it starts with skills. You get the skills right, and you can build a good rugby player on top of that.
And pretty much sleep with a ball.
100%. Chuck the boots on, go to bed.
Right. Right. Mom, dad are like, hey, what are you doing with your boots on in the house? Like, I'm breaking them in. I'm getting used to them, Ma.
Exactly.
That's great advice. I think carrying around the ball on a regular basis, especially in America, where we're just really starting to get everybody aware of what rugby is, to take the ball to school and such, and just like, hey, if you got a couple mates walking down the hall, toss them the ball, toss them the rock, if you will, and let people see it and get the curiosity going too. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything for you guys to catch that ball, especially with all that audience.
Yeah.
Put the pressure on you, Oh man, if I catch it, I'm looking cool. But if I drop it, man, I'm gonna, like, so-and-so is not gonna be, I'm not think I'm cool. I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely ball in hand.
Yeah, no, fun. Well, and for my final official question is, as I tend to find more questions than answers, but who are you thankful for in your rugby journey? Like, if you gave a shout out to somebody, who would it be?
Yeah, there'd be a couple for me. Like, there's obviously my family have just been immensely supportive, our whole career of all of us of playing sports. Mum and dad have always been there. My grandparents as well have always, very fortunate to have all of my grandparents until last year. My mum's one of my grandfathers passed away, and he was the big rugby guy in the family. Played high level rugby and a lot of it, so he was definitely an idol. But in terms of people to be thankful, family first and foremost for sure, and then there's a couple of guys from my club back home. Mike O'Donovan, who's not with us anymore, sort of found me when I was coming out of that dark place we talked about with the injuries, and was there for me and believed in me. And I think, when you've had a few injuries and you don't really believe in yourself, it's massive to have someone that believes in you. And on that same ilk, my Colts coach at Christchurch, Ross Tarafiti, was the same. I honestly thought he hated me for the longest time, until I grew up and realized that it was the same thing. He believed in me, and he could see that maybe I wasn't getting the best out of myself at the time, and he really nudged me in the right direction, and we grew into a great relationship. He ended up coaching me in senior rugby a couple of years later. And honestly, I owe a lot to those guys at that club, for helping me steer out of sort of a tough time and find my feet in the game. And then that club gave me the opportunity to play high level rugby with good players, and take the next step because of that. So those would be the people for me from my career that I look back on that. Probably without Mike O'D and Ross Tarafiti, we wouldn't be having this conversation here today either.
I love that, man. Yeah, it's completely hard, especially with a guy like yourself that's had such you've had a long career in all sincerity, in my personal opinion. And I mean, of course, it's not shortening up anytime soon. Let's go. But, no, it'd be hard to pick just one person is what I'm getting at, you know?
Really hard, mate. Like you could
Yeah.
honestly look back every year and find someone that had had a big impact on your career or big impact on your 12 months. But yeah, I have to look back to all the way to that when I really was struggling, and those guys were the guys that believed in me, as I said, when I probably didn't believe in myself.
I love that, man. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for opening up about some of these subjects that not everybody has been talking about in interviews, but really appreciate the thorough answers that you've given. Yeah, you put some thought into it, buddy. At least you, and if you didn't, it looks like you did. So, yeah, let's go.
Either that, or as some people probably tell you, I just like the sound of my own voice a bit too much.
You are a coach, so there's that. But you're doing it, so there's that. I love it, dude. Oh man. Well, Brad, I'm sure we'll chat behind the scenes after this interview, but thank you very much for making the time out of your Sunday to come out and interact with your old buddy over in Seattle, just trying to keep rugby in front of people and grow the sport. And, thanks for all that you contribute towards, man. Like you literally you've been coaching all over the country since I've met you. You've been playing everywhere. And you've been killing it, honestly. Like, I got a website coming out, and I had a buddy of mine, Dennis, that does Bayou photography down there in New Orleans, and I got a picture of you in the middle of a mall. Big surprise, right? And you're standing up. You're in the mix of it, bro, and you're directing traffic. And it looks so good, and I had to put that on the website. You got Brad Tucker, the man, the myth, the legend, with the headband, the bright red hair. Let's go, bro. So
I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love.
you're inspiring, bro. You really are, and I swear, the longer I get to know you, the more fun you are to be around. Because, we all have those different parts of our lives and things that shine brighter than other things, and I've really enjoyed getting to know you. Thank you very much. Appreciate your friendship.
I appreciate that, mate. You too. And I look forward to tracking your progress with Rugby 100 Club this year, and absolutely look forward to catching up with you all when you make it down to New Orleans this year. It'll be a hoot.
I'll be there, bro. I'll be there with bells on, rooting you on. Thank you. Thank you very much. Catch up soon. See you soon.
See you, bro. Thank you.